Hi and welcome to week 2 of the I Formation. I'm Jeff Gibbons.
And I'm John Moist.
Had a pretty successful week for what we would call a week 1.
Not bad.
There was a lot of surprises. We were bang on in some places, and we were very close together. And just as we stated on our page today, or yesterday, I think it was, we varied on 3 different games, and 2 of them were decided by a point. The other one was less than a major score. So, pretty close. And
If we're differing, you're probably going to be close games.
That's right. So, I'm in at 10-6. John's at 9-7. Good start for the year. As a matter of fact, it's been a while since I've been in front of you, so just sort of enjoying that a little bit, basking in the glow. Stick around, folks. We're going to tell you who we think is going to be the winners in week 2. Hi, and welcome back to the I Formation. And we're looking at week 2 right now. Start with the Thursday night game. The New York Jets are in Buffalo. And I'm looking at this. Buffalo is still missing key people through injuries and suspensions. They're likely without Sammy Watkins this week.
Yeah, and Corey Glenn's hurting as well, so they may be without their starting left tackle. This is where we shoot early in the week, so we don't have the injury reports up to date for game time. So certainly if they're missing the left tackle and their main wide receiver, not going to be easy.
And the Jets played defensive very well in front of Cincinnati last week, I thought. So
God, they sacked Andy Dalton 7 times.
Mm-hmm. So that's the difference. I think that the Jets go into Buffalo and they win this game. I'm saying 6 points.
I got them there for 7. Yep,
right
on the money.
So we're close again. Next, we'll get into the Sunday games now. We'll start with Baltimore going into Cleveland to play the Browns. And short of saying, an encapsulating statement would be the Browns are bad, okay?
Yeah.
They're bad. And now, with RG3, in addition being put on injury reserve now with a broken bone in his back. Back, is it? I think. Well, it's a broken bone. He's out of commission.
It is. Yeah.
I think Baltimore is going to build on the positives from last week. I mean, they went in there and they beat Buffalo. That was the game that we had the biggest spread on. I think look for Flacco to have a big effort against this Browns defense. They're abysmal. I think that he sets the tone and he has a decent game.
Yeah, I'm going to pick, I think it's fairly low scoring. I'm going to say Baltimore by 6.
I'm picking Baltimore to win this by 2 touchdowns.
I like it.
So I'm going to float it along.
Sure.
Awesome. Next we've got Miami going into Gillette Stadium for New England's home opener. And this is consecutive road games for my Dolphins and the home opener for the Pats. So, I mean, there's a lot stacked against you when you're playing in those kinds of circumstances. I think this is going to be close. After Miami's very, very good defensive start against the Seattle Seahawks at home, there was a couple of throws there that could have made that game go the other way.
Oh, well, I think Miami outplayed Seattle in this game, and it's certainly, if Kenny Stills catches that ball where he's wide open for, they do win this game.
That's the call on him. He'll only get better in time, I think. I'm picking the Pats to win this at home. They do enough at home because it is their home opener, and every other thing that goes wrong for other teams when they go into New England. But I'm saying it's a field goal.
I agree. Field goal game, Patriots.
Okay, hope we're wrong.
Me too.
Next we got Dallas going into Washington. Another good rivalry there. Dak Prescott's first road start for the Cowboys. Taking that under consideration. We had the Skins. They had a poor showing against the Steelers last week, I think, and that's got to get better. I think this is always a good matchup, this division rivalry. I'm picking Washington at home to beat Dak Prescott's and Dak Prescott. Boy, oh boy, that's a mouthful. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys.
What kind of name is Dak anyway? There's your first problem right there.
In New England, it means black, doesn't it? It's pretty Dak here.
Oh, it's pretty Dak here.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's one for all you guys out there. Sorry, that's a poor accent. We're saying, I'm saying Washington by 3 points at home.
Okay, I struggled with this one myself, but because of how bad Washington did last week against Pittsburgh, they had no answer for Antonio Brown. They had no answer for Williams on the ground. Now they're going up against an even better offensive line, and Ezekiel Elliott, and Des Bryant is still a very capable wide receiver. I think this is a close game, 27-24 Dallas final.
We'll see. He didn't look all that great last week. I don't know if he had a single fantasy point.
Is that Des Bryant? That's all right.
Yeah. We'll see.
I don't like them.
Take it from the
Just saying
sidelines.
they have a good game.
And you know, Washington always gets up for Dallas. It's always
no
a,
doubt
you know,
about it.
so it's a good.
Fantastic game as usual.
It's critical mass for Dallas. I think they need the game. They need the game very big, but there's a lot of pressure on that kid out there. Actually, both of those kids.
Washington's defense is having some trouble. I really think.
We'll see how it goes.
I think again, who'll Brian be covered by here? Norman, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, my concern becomes
Maybe Cole Beasley shows up for this one.
well, I think that Washington also has to lick their wounds and play well at home, and I think this is a, you know.
I'd like to see Washington win it. I will call Dallas by a field goal.
All right. Next, we've got Tennessee going into Detroit to play the Lions, and watching Tennessee play last week, and actually speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, and DeMarco Murray really didn't get going on the ground last week for Tennessee, and that was their downfall.
Touchdown, I believe.
Yeah, but
That's about it.
they're going to expect big things from Murray.
Yeah.
You know, in order for them to be competitive, and I think playing Detroit, where you've got Matt Stafford and you've got a team that can put a lot of points on the board offensively.
Yeah, they're not missing Johnson at all. They got real good. Abdullah on the ground and Riddick. I mean, this is a great 1-2 punch there on the ground for Detroit. Had a great game last week with the comeback win against Indianapolis. And I think Detroit wins this one in a big way.
I think so too. And I think that the only chance Tennessee has is to expand on that and to DeMarco Murray, you know, get the ball on the ground, control the clock, try to keep the ball out of Stafford's hand. I don't think they're going to be able to do that for 60 minutes, and I think that that's where the downfall is. They pull away from the pier, so to speak. I'm saying Detroit by 10.
I have Detroit by 10 as well, I believe.
Is that 20, or you mean 10 the same?
No, I believe 10 and 10, yes.
10 and 10. All right, so we were on the same page there.
Mm-hmm.
We sort of do this.
17, actually.
We don't get together and discuss this. We sort of talk about it just before the game. It's kind of neat, actually.
17 points for the Lions. I think it's a big win.
Okay. Next, we've got Kansas City going into Houston to play the new and improved offense of the Houston Texans. Brock Osweiler. You know, this is not the same team that folded up like a cheap card table in the in the AFC wild card last year, because the Chiefs handled them.
Oh yes,
right?
30-0.
Yeah, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
I think Osweiler is a huge addition to this Houston team. We've been talking about Houston. We both think that Houston is going to make a move. They're going to make the playoffs this year. They're probably going to win that division.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And I think that we're only going to see how this team is getting better and better, both offensively and defensively. I just think that they're faster. They're going to get it done at home. They're building on momentum now, looking to go 2-0. That's huge for them. I'm picking Houston to win by 7 points.
Okay. I'm going to go against you here. I'm going to go to Chiefs, although I do think that this is going to be an extremely close game. I was very impressed with the way the Chiefs came back in that great comeback last week against San Diego. In the meantime, San Diego, when you're up, well, a little word to the coach here, when you're up 27-10, you don't try to kick a 54-yard field goal and give the other team the ball. Not a very good idea there, and that's what started the KC comeback. Very poor coaching mistake. Poor coaching.
You heard it here from Johnny Football.
There you go.
The real Johnny Football,
Yeah.
who is still here.
That's right.
Right.
You punt at that point.
What'd you call me?
It's field.
Awesome.
You punt. You don't try to kick the 54-yarder. So that's what started the Chiefs' comeback, got their momentum going. Chiefs come back and win this game, and I was really impressed with the comeback. I was really impressed with Spencer Ware on the ground, and Alex Smith getting the ball out to Kelsey there. A couple of big plays by him. And I think Houston, great defense, just not as much offense as KC, falling a little short. I'm going to pick the Chiefs by a single point.
You heard it here, folks. That's probably the first time where you went against me on the Chiefs
Yeah.
and went with the Chiefs. We'll see what happens. Next, we got San Francisco, Carolina. You got the 49ers coming cross-country after playing the short week, the Monday Nighter, to play the reigning NFC champions on 10 days rest.
Oh, we haven't talked about San Francisco.
What can go wrong here, though? I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. I mean, yes, the LA Rams... this is
Were
not the
horrible?
LA Rams. Yeah, they were. So that's buoying this competition up, I think, and probably giving them a little bit of a false sense of security.
Yeah.
The team they're going to play this week is not the LA Rams.
No.
And we saw, I think Newton is going to be he's going to be on his game
this week for sure,
and I think he's really going to give them all kinds of trouble. I think that I'm going to call this a two touchdown difference.
Exactly what I have them by. Yeah. 2 touchdowns, Carolina. But kudos to San Francisco for that great win last week. I mean, 28-0. I mean, that's fantastic over the Rams. Rams, you know, I thought they had more of a team than what they showed here. Of course, when you got Casey Keenum throwing the football or whatever he is, Casey and the Sunshine Band, you can't do much with it. It's time to bring Jared Goff in. It's time to let him play.
All right. And I think that team will get better. I don't think it's indicative of their entire season. It's not like the Browns.
No. Rough first game, though.
It was. And, well, they can only get better.
Yeah, that's right. They can score a point.
That's right. Next, we've got Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. And I'm calling this the game of the week.
I agree.
I think this is going to be incredible to watch. I'm picking... we both are picking both of these teams to make the playoffs.
Yes.
I think, you know, 2 are coming out of that division.
Yep. We're going to win against the wild card. That's what we said. Yeah.
Yep. And it remains to be seen exactly how that's going to fall. But I think both of them are going to be there at the end of this.
It's going to be a battle.
Andy Dalton, and Big Ben. They're going to go back and forth. And I think this is so close, I'm calling this one by less than 3 points. I'm saying this is going to be the perennial, or the quintessential close game that we saw a lot of in the last week. And I think that Dalton finds a way to get it done, and I'm not going to say stun the Steelers at home, but they're going to give them a fright. And I think they beat them by less than a field goal.
And I'm going to go with the Steelers in this one, so we're going to disagree on this one. But I think it's a field goal game as well. I think that Cincinnati's really going to be missing Burfict in this game. They're going to miss his 10 or 12 penalties against the Steelers. It's not going to be a good scene without him there. They might only get 20 penalties instead of 30. So.
What are you saying? Nobody's perfect?
Nobody's perfect.
All right. I got lots of these folks. The comedy's free.
Walked right into that.
You sure did, buddy.
And especially with you. I know.
All right. It's all good, man.
That's it. But I'm going to say that Roethlisberger and the Steelers had a great showing there last week against Washington. Williams on the ground. Their offense is clicking on all cylinders already. And because Cincinnati is missing a couple of key people there, I still say Roethlisberger spends a lot of time on the ground in this game. But
that's his entire career.
I'm going to pick the Steelers to win this one by a field goal.
Nature of the beast. And it's our pick for the watch this game. Absolutely. Next we've got New Orleans going in to play the G-Men. And I just think that this is Eli Manning capitalizing on a very weak New Orleans defense.
Oh my God.
I think that Manning gets this right. Breeze is going to put up numbers as well, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying that the Giants win this by a touchdown.
When your quarterback puts up over 400 yards in the air, throws for 4 touchdowns, not a pick, and still loses the game, you probably got a bad defense. There's a good chance.
You might have a bad defense.
Horrible.
That was very John Foxworthy. That's like,
there you go.
Like, you might be a poor defense.
What'd you say, Giants by 6?
I did. Actually by 7.
I got him there, boy. Yep. Exact. We're exact on that one.
All right. Next we got Tampa Bay and Arizona. You got the Bucs on the road for the 2nd straight game. That's always tough. They're playing a good team who lost in their opener as well.
The Arizona Cardinals. Pissed off team.
Yeah, that's this stuff is not going towards them in their favor.
No.
The Achilles heel for Tampa Bay is going to be their pass rush, though. I think they're not going to be able to have an answer for Arizona's pass.
No.
And this gets out of hand very quickly. I think it's a couple of touchdowns for this one as well.
I agree.
14 points maybe?
14 sounds right.
Yeah. So we'll see. Notice we're not saying next about any of these. We're speaking them through. We're not going to take anything for granted. Next, we've got Seattle and the Los Angeles Rams. And the million-dollar question here is going to be, which LA Rams defense is going to show up? Is it going to be the one that, in St. Louis that gave Russell Wilson trouble and has chased him down and has cut down on his mobility? Or is it going to be something like we saw last week against the San Francisco 49ers? that's a big difference in how much we think Seattle, or I think Seattle, and we both do, thinks they win by. I'm saying that if a reasonable defense shows up and they give Wilson trouble, they still win this by 6 points.
I like Seattle to win this game as well, even though I was looking online and I got a few of the experts out there, and of course the big thing of the week now is to pick the Rams to upset Seattle. Did anybody watch the Rams last week? They did not play very well. Now they're gonna show up at home this week. They have to do something for the fans, or the fans are going to be completely pissed at them. So I think their defensive ends are going to be able to get to Wilson, but Wilson's great out of the pocket as well, so he can shake him and he can get some throws downfield. He's one of the best, if not the best, quarterback at doing that. Reminds me of Steve Young a lot in that way. He's very good mobile quarterback. The Rams don't have any offense. They got Todd Gurley on the ground, but I mean, Seattle got one of the best run-stuffing teams in the game. So I don't see the Rams putting up a whole lot of offense here either. But at the same time, I think their defense will show up this time and give Seattle a bit of a rough time. Low scoring, and like you said, Seahawks by 3 or 6. Right?
Watch for Russell Wilson doing what he does best, and that's capitalizing on broken plays, getting out of the pocket. Wilson with 1 L getting to Wilson with 2 L's. The tight end.
There you go.
You know, these kinds of things are going to define the difference in this game, and it depends on how voracious that LA Rams defense is, as to what extent Seattle beats them. But I think we're both in agreement. Seattle wins this game.
Yeah.
Okay. Next we've got Atlanta going into Oakland. Atlanta's defense this past week looked really weak in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, especially their secondary. It didn't impress me at all, to tell you the truth.
And now they're going into the black hole.
Yeah.
You know, for the home opener. And this is the new and improved Oakland team that we both have talked about, even online, as to be a force to be reckoned with in their own division. And like last week, they beat New Orleans by 1 point, and that was an interesting, an interesting game to watch. I think that their offense is going to show up again at home, and I think they're going to put points on the board against Atlanta because that defense is just abysmal.
I look for a huge game from Mary Cooper in this one. I think 12 or 13 catches, wouldn't be surprised.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm saying 10 points on this.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next we got Jacksonville at San Diego. And these are two teams this week that are reeling from really tough losses. Like we just talked about, the field goal idea in San Diego. We're talking about, Jacksonville losing a close one as well. Factor in that this is San Diego's home opener. That makes it very, very tough. And it's a long road trip for Jacksonville. And remember, they're without Keenan Allen.
Yes.
So, all things being equal, I think that Jacksonville wins this at home real close. I'm saying a field goal.
Yeah.
Did I say Jacksonville? I meant San Diego.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right to me. Keenan Allen is a really tough loss, one of the best young dynamic receivers in the NFL, one of the fastest men in the NFL, and certainly torn ACL, and that really is going to spell, is going to give a big blow to anything San Diego can do this season. Phillip Rivers still has, I think Travis Benjamin is a capable receiver, but he's certainly, without Allen, they're going to have a lot of trouble. And last week, they had a 17-point lead in that game and couldn't do anything with it. Kansas City just mowed over them from there on, and their defense did not look good at all. Jacksonville held their own against Green Bay, and
they were in that to the end. I mean, that was a close game.
And
I think we both said last week that, actually I remember I said, I can't remember what you said, but that Green Bay was going to pull that out late. Yeah. And Jacksonville's a team on the rise.
They are a team on the rise, and certainly I am picking San Diego in this one as well by a field goal. I'm scared of this one.
Don't be scared.
Still picking the Chargers. Field goal. They'll recharge for this week.
Yeah, that's one for the Bolt fans out there. Darren Perry, you know where you are. Next, we got Indianapolis going into Denver. Week 1, a dominant defensive game versus the Panthers. They showed up just like they did in the Super Bowl. I mean, it was, good, solid performance. I think Denver plays strong defensively against Andrew Luck, and they scurry him all around. They win this at home. This is a no-brainer to me. I think that they win by 10 points plus.
I agree, and I just had to have a moment to mention about, there was a lot of media that came out the next day about Cam Newton taking a lot of headshots and going to the hospital after to check for concussion and everything. And you know something, Ron Rivera came out after that, and even their coach, you'd think the coach would be the first person to be giving the Broncos a hard time and complaining about their style of play for this game. But of course, Riverboat Ron comes out and says, you know something? That's football. That's what he said to the camera. And I love this guy. Great coach. And, you know, you got a 6'5" quarterback. You can't hit him low. You can't hit him high. I mean, really, I don't know. There's going to be helmet contact, and there always is. Having
said that, and even what Riverboat Ron said, apparently word is that Brandon Marshall and Darian Stewart are going to be fined for the helmet-to-helmet shots on Newton. Okay. So the league is going to take a stand, and there's a, you know, this is a pretty slippery slope when we get into contact. And you're right. Just to take a second to talk about that, you're right. Yeah. It's not always going to work when you have the Brock Osweilers of the world that are 6'7". It's tough to not have those kinds of contacts. That being said, we have to protect our players, we have to protect our quarterbacks. So the league is, you know, doing the best they can to try to make that happen. So it is a slippery slope.
It's going to happen though, and I'm also wondering if there would be as much attention if it wasn't Cam Newton. I shouldn't be saying that, I know, but I'm going to say it anyways. Dear golden boy for the NFL, and that's it.
Well, there's a few golden boys out there that have been. Yeah. You know, I just don't want to pick on him.
Yes, he took some shots. And if my Broncos got to beat up on quarterbacks to go to the Super Bowl this year, so be it. I hope they break legs. Next.
That was very Mike Singletary of you.
I like.
All right. Next, we've got Green Bay and Minnesota, so we're sliding into that one. We're still unsure at filming as to Mike Zimmer is being very, very coy about who's going to start. He's keeping very hush on that. Is it going to be Bradford? Is it going to be Sean Hill?
Doesn't matter.
Well, that defense is going to have their hands full with the Packers. It's a solid defense, but at the end of the day, Rodgers is going to find a way to get it done. This is going to be a great game to watch as well. Another good division rivalry. I'm picking the Packers on the road by 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, you get Minnesota has a great defense. They're playing at home, and they do play great football at home. The only problem here, if it was Bridgewater there, I might pick the upset here. But you got Sean Hill or Sam Bradford, whichever one, going up against. I really can't pick either one of them against Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers with Jordy Nelson, with Devontae Adams, or Randall Cobb. You know, you got Lacey. They got a fantastic offense and a great offensive line. And I think Green Bay is going to win this one. I think they're going to win it by 10 points.
All right.
Yeah.
Hope you're right. Finally, we get the Monday Nighter. And that's Philadelphia Eagles going into Chicago to play the Bears. Carson Wentz's first road start. There's a few of those going on, so like an inaugural balls kind of thing, you know. Chicago played with Houston. I think they kept with them for a half a game. They need to play for a full game. I think there was a lot of positives there. They're gone home, and I think that they're better than the Browns team that Philly beat up on last week, so that could be a bit of a start for them as well. I'm picking Chicago to beat Philly in their home opener, 6 points.
I'm going to go against you. I like this one to be a very close game as well. But I did not like the fact that Chicago couldn't put hardly any points up last week, and they managed, I think, a total of 260 yards, around 265, something like that, in the entire game. I know it was Houston's defense at home. Big difference when it was the Bears at home playing against Philly, certainly. I like Philly, though, because I think Philly has an opportunistic defense. I think that Philly's going to win this game on a defensive touchdown. That's what I'm calling. Defensive touchdown here, and Philly takes it by 3.
It's all good, man.
Yeah.
So that's our picks for the week. Stick around. We're going to talk in a minute about who we think the unsung heroes will be.
Okay. Welcome back to the I-Formation. Now we're going to make our pick for a new feature we've had this year, the Unsung Hero. That guy that's out there in the trenches, on the lines, getting work done every week. Big reason why his team gets the wins, and no one ever talks about him. So, who do you like as your Unsung Hero of the week?
Well, this week, since I picked Cincinnati to beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, I'm going to go with Andrew Whitworth, who was the offensive left tackle for Cincinnati. He's the team captain, Pro Bowl selection, 10-year veteran, and I think he has to have a big game, as he always does, to protect his quarterback, Andy Dalton, and allow them to beat Pittsburgh at home.
I like it.
Who do you like?
And my pick will be Brandon Williams, nose tackle for the Baltimore Ravens. Apparently he's rated as the best run defender in the league. I didn't even know that till I looked it up this week, but so certainly he's an unsung hero, and certainly a nose tackle, has a big job to do in that 3-4 defense, and he's one of the best at it. So Brandon Williams, unsung hero for the week.
Nice call.
Yeah.
Well, that's the show, folks. That's our picks. That's our unsung heroes. Please drop us a line on our Facebook page. Like our Facebook page. Make a comment. Tell us what you think the picks are going to be like this week. Certainly you can also follow us on Twitter, and you can send us an email at theiformation@gmail.com. So we encourage you to be very vocal. We're looking forward to your feedback, and you all know who you are. So we also want to make sure that we point out, while enjoying the games, you need to be responsible. We want you to respect the game, folks. Please don't drink and drive. So that's the show for this week. You have anything else to add?
No, that's it.
Awesome. Well then, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Have fun.
Don't need to do that, man. It's the beginning of the clip.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
No sweat.